10 seconds.
Bye, Curious.
Hand tool check, please.
6, 5,
Let's go to
4,
black.
3.
Order. Taste the memory.
Mama Leone's Pasta Beauty Parlor. We'll give your rigatoni the Rachel.
A heart that beats, a voice that speaks the truth. Yes, I am a girl like you.
Hi-ho, everybody. I'm the Loud House Critic. One guy with 1,000 views and episodes we gotta review. And boy, do we have a great show for you today. The episode is not one of the best, like Tricked or Trip or even Any Given Sunday, but it's decent at best and not one of the worst. Trust me on this. Because today, we'll be reviewing the episode Sister Act. So, let's get started with the 35th episode of the 4th season and the 100th...
Hey!
Oh.
What the hell is going on in here? And what the hell are you doing in my limo?
Okay. A couple of things. I know you invited me, but the guys just let me in your limo and you were running a bit late, so I figured I'd start it up for you before you got here and buy you some time.
Wait, start it up? Wait, is that camera rolling? Hi everybody, I'm the real Loud House Critic, one guy with 1,000 views and all the episodes I must review. So we're in the middle of March, and what better time to actually do a Lola and Lana episode at this kind, since last week I already did a Lana Loud episode. Now for the next 2 weeks, I gotta do a Lola and Lana episode before I can end it with a Lola episode. And with this being said, by popular demand, Sister Act, the 35th episode of Season 4 of The Loud House, and overall the 184th episode. I hear a lot of good and a lot of bad things about this episode that so many people have talked about over months when they have requested this to me. And my email was so filling up, I decided, let me just get this out of the way for March. But is this really a good episode as so much as the other ones were really that good? Well, you could say that there were some that were at their worst, but let's just find out what this is. And by the way, I suppose you guys met my guest star, Andreas, who once again reviewed an episode of Patching Things Up with me during Season 2 of The Loud House Critic.
And thanks for having me back. I am so excited to be reviewing another Loud House episode, especially this one. You'll see what we mean in a moment. So, why don't we stop on waiting and let's get this brother act to Sister Act.
So we get one incredible start with Lola getting prepared with something with a ribbon and glitter for that matters.
Applying ribbon glitter requires intense concentration. I'm gonna need you to all silence your phone.
Yeah, right. Stuffed animals have cell phones. They're not in the Barbie business.
Lana!
Sorry, Lowe's. I'm just trying to get organized for the town recycling challenge. First place gets free ice cream at Auntie Pam's Parlor.
Now, to refresh your guys' memory, the anti-parlor place that you actually heard of was actually in Any Given Sunday, one of the best Lily Loud episodes ever since Season 4 came.
But no more noise, I promise. Thank you. I have a lot to prepare for.
Kids, dinner's ready. Make a dash, dishing out leftover hash.
I'm almost afraid to ask what the heck exactly is leftover hash. Is it like you put the leftovers together as one, or
Yeah, that better not be the same thing as they did in Fed Up.
Ugh.
Oh, that's ghastly.
Oh, yeah! Wonder what's in it this time. Let's see. We had liver and onions Monday, squid with sauerkraut Tuesday, lima bean... Blech.
Seriously, what the fuck is this father feeding his kids? Trying to kill them or poison them or something?
And what is healthy about squid? The only... I don't know if anybody out there would even eat squid.
Especially kids. And what the hell is with liver? I wonder what the fuck that shit tastes like.
Whoops. Sorry, Lons.
All this glitter, and now I look like you.
You do look like me, which, bonus for you.
Well, you two are twins, given that notice.
This begs the question, what could Lola and Lana actually be thinking now?
We look exactly the same. Exactly is a strong word. It's like looking into a mirror. We are looking into a mirror.
So at the loud table, we actually have Lana at the table, but no Lola show.
Okay, leftover hash. Let's see. A+ for presentation, A+ for smell, and A++ for texture. Delicate yet chunky.
Well, good thing she didn't go to Arby's.
Hell, I'm actually surprised they never actually made a joke about Arby's in this one, but they did in The Simpsons. But that's besides the point. Lana actually makes it upstairs to go get her sister, Lola.
How was your day, sweetie?
Oh, pageants and, glitter and, crowns, probably.
Okay, I'm just gonna say right now that Lana being Lola is kind of a little bit off a bit. No offense, they're twins, but somewhat. How the way Lana actually sounds like Lola sounds a little bit higher when she talks like her.
Ha, just another day in the life of Lola. There you go.
So is this not okay?
Oh yeah, just like Lola, poised and perfect.
Ooh. Do it again. Do it again. Ooh, it tingles me.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Wow, a clean plate and an A+ for texture? Last time I served leftover hash, you ate the rating card and told me it tasted better. You feeling okay?
Oh, I meant F.
Yeah, that's my Lola.
Yeah, haven't you heard? Paper's nutritious.
Ralph, what are you doing? Stop, you'll get sick.
Paper is nutritious.
How I can speak like Lola, yet apparently I never tried it in Toad and Tiara. Everybody was a total complete moron not to tell it's not really Lola with a Snow Queen hairstyle.
So one incredibly performance of these two, especially with Lana actually being Lola. By the way, am I the only one who thinks that Lana is actually pulling off the better being Lola than Lola herself? I mean, think about it. Toad and Tiara, Cover Girls, and even the episode Tricked. But the hairstyle of her, thank God they fixed that after Toad and Tiara. She kind of looked like Elsa with that hair.
Lola, Lana, it's bath night. I'll be inspecting fingernails and ears.
It's favorite time.
You know, I've always wondering, they always do this in animated shows and movies. Why always wash behind the ears?
Oh, if I fucking matter, why do you gotta check fingernails?
Nail inspection. Lola, come on out. Good job as always, sweetie. Go tell Lana it's her turn, please.
Of course, Mommy.
Of course, Mommy.
Yeah, that's real fun of her. She always has to be clean. And by the way, am I the only one who thinks that these two are like Mr. Bumpy and Squish from Bumpin' the Night?
Sorry, gotta make it believable. Sup, Mom? Ready for my bath? Hola. I mean, do I gotta? I like all this mud and filth and grime.
Bath.
That's me, old Lana. 'Cause I love worms and dirt and rolling in the mud like a filthy animal.
Okay, seriously, is this mom stupid or something? How did you not hear Lana say Lola? Are you deaf or something? Honestly.
Wow, Lana, you're sparkling.
You know it. I mean, don't get used to it. I got plans to hang out with some worms later.
Nice cover.
Yeah, no shit. And by the way, you guys gotta fix your voices a little bit. You sound a little bit too rough here when you're Lana, and you sound too high and squeaky.
But that is a brilliant way of telling them apart if they ever do switch places when it comes to another serious matter, like if they have to help their siblings with something.
And speaking of switching, does this remind somebody of a Mark Twain story about two certain people who traded places that wanted to try each other's different life that they got really bored of?
Classic story, tale as old as time. Not that one, but you know what, the one we're talking about, you get it.
We never have to do the things we don't like ever again!
But anyhow, this gives Lola and Lana an even better idea to keep doing the old switcheroo kind of thing to try to get out of things that they don't even want to do, starting with the next day at gym.
Get changed, princess, the rope is waiting.
Whoa. Back on up. Since when did Lana started to be so elegant and limber? Has she been taking lessons from Spider-Man? I mean, look at that!
Honestly, to be perfectly honest, she did try to be Lola for one time in Toad and Taurean and started to get used to the things that she used to do, but I've never seen her go out for gymnastics.
I mean, right away, Coach!
I gotta pee, Coach. Pee?
So do I!
Here we go again.
You know, as bad as I hate to spoil too much for everybody else out there, do you see where this is even going? Because guess what happens in that story that Andreas and I were actually even talking about?
Okay, everyone, move it! Royalty coming through!
Oh, Jesus. Do you really have to put the damn tiara on every time you're Lola? And what's with the damn makeup? Lola doesn't wear that much makeup.
If this damages my nails, you will be hearing from my attorney!
What the hell? Did you see how she did that? I mean, I know it's animation and you can do whatever you want, but that's just unbelievable how quickly she goes up there, just like that.
And what the hell? I've never seen anyone jump just in one single frickin' jump up the rope like that. I don't know if that's something she got to learn from a pageant or something that Gilga Lily actually told her in that damn rhyme of his.
Wow, Lola! I've never seen that kind of hustle from you before.
Oh, right! I'm in training for a Miss Survivalist pageant.
You know, this gives me an idea. If they ever did a show where they blended like a pageant show with the show Survivor, that might be worth the watch.
Oh yeah, another Lola and Lana episode. With just these two. So with the next part of school, we got Lola and Lana actually being in class doing one of my least favorite subjects in school. Math.
Oh, crud. I know Miss Allegra's gonna call me to the board and I'm gonna beef it.
No, you won't. I got this.
And this is where they put on the popular and not so popular routine. Oh my god, here's the thing. Study the homework instead of just going out and doing trash and actually going to the city dump to watch the sewage rats.
Now that you mention it, Lola is very intelligent when it comes to the episode No Place Like Homeschool. Could be as smart as Lisa.
Excuse me?
That's scary to think about. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, maybe I just don't want to. Especially, what the hell does Lisa do in that room by herself?
Miss Allegra, may I please use the little ladies' room?
Of course. Actually, I need to go too. Must be a twinsy bladder thing.
Okay, honestly, you guys gotta stop making all these excuses. Lincoln already used a stupid excuse before in the loudest yard. And honestly, with this being said, they go to the ladies' room to put on the little switch act routine.
We're back!
Fantastic. Lana, why don't you come to the board and solve this problem?
There's nothing I'd enjoy more. Except maybe gross stuff like eating boogers.
Okay, there's no reason to project that shit. You don't have to take it too far out of character. Because honestly, that's gonna ruin everybody's reputation. Think about how that almost ruined you in Toad and Taurean.
Well, it worked on the Muppets when Constantine was pretending to be Kermit.
Oh, imagine if these two actually did a mirror scene like that was in the movie. I would have loved that if that was the case.
You're right. They should have done at least one scene where Lola and Lana did that.
Marker, please.
Well done, Lana.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, a curtsy. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were Lola.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh!
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Do it again.
How very ladylike of me!
And just for a little run back, remember how the way if Lo was pretending to be Lana, remember what she did in Patching Things Up?
That's bloody charming, that is.
So now after school ends, Rita comes and picks her twin babies up and makes a real announcement to them.
But Lola, you have a checkup with Dr. Peterson, and Lana, you're scheduled for teeth cleaning with Dr. Feinstein.
I hate being around all those sick people. Plus, Dr. Peterson's office smells like old cheese.
I know just how you feel, even if I don't like being around sick people at a damn time like this.
But I do not get, how does the hospital smell like old cheese?
Yeah, good question. I never smell old cheese at a hospital. It smells like hand sanitizer with a bit of bleach.
I don't want to see Dr. Feinstein. Drills are for engine mounts and lug nuts, not teeth.
And some comedical moments, if I might add.
And you guys will never guess, or at least you can guess, of what these two could be thinking at a time like this.
Oopsie! I seem to have spilled my book bag. Lana, would you be so kind as to join me on the floor and help me retrieve my things?
Get it yourself. Oh, it would be my pleasure.
That's so cute. The way they slid her down the seat like that. That's just brilliant animation. Like, you don't see that nowadays, like from Chuck Jones's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
You know, in fact, I'm starting to wish that Disney could actually do some kind of animation style like this way, because you've seen animations like Paperman or Feast, something they could actually post. I think they could pull this kind of thing off for a movie if they find the right one for that style.
Okie dokie. Let's get these appointments over
Honestly,
with.
are you an idiot? How did you not see this happening? I mean, honestly, could you not tell how the way their hair looked and everything? Even Lenny would actually be that smart enough to tell who's Lola and who's Lana. Well, maybe.
Yeah, but just when they think they're gonna get away with all of this, if they keep on this acting longer, that's where things go wrong.
Yeah! Great news, Lols! Mayor Davis just called! I won the recycling challenge! Free ice cream, here I
go! In your fucking face, fuckwad!
Hey. Fucking doggy, it hurts so much.
Open your mouth.
Okay, I don't really see. Oh, it's so gross!
Okay, that zoom in was a little too extreme.
And looks really painful, too.
Cover your nose when you sneeze, please.
And another thing, did we really necessarily need to see that?
You getting sick?
No, being sick is not allowed.
Survey says...
Whoa! My ribbon dance recital is today, and I've invested far too much glitter. Well, have fun.
Ow! Thanks, you too.
Oh, good God. Yeah, this is something I call a cruel irony, if anyone remembers that quote from a certain movie. So, bro, you're actually gonna take Lola's plot, and I'll actually switch around with Lana's part like we did during Patching Things Up.
Right. So, at the Ribbons Believe It or Not pageant, why does that name sound familiar? Anyway, Lola is getting prepped and ready for the pageant.
Lola! There's my ribbon dancing champ. You ready to dazzle those judges?
You know, it's funny that Disney always does that with a lot of their characters, with having different color eyes to make a wacky expression. This actually reminds me of an Ed, and Eddie episode when the Eds are taking care of Rolf's animals, and we find out Ed is allergic to bunnies, and he makes one of the funniest faces ever.
Jesus Christ!
I sneezed.
And that is what this reminds me of.
Ooh, that's the look of a killer. Break a leg, honey.
Gross. Man, that ain't right.
Yeah, a killer sneeze.
Cut! This isn't working. I cannot work like this anymore. I've worked with Jesus. Damn it, fuck.
Really?
Okay, I know they're dancing to the music of the Nutcracker, but it looks like Lola made a backbreaker. Ha! It's a joke. I do that.
Gross.
You're disgusting.
I hope you guys brought extra tissues for that exhilarating performance.
Okay, so now we come to Lana at Auntie Parlor's, like I explained, that was in Any Given Sunday, and things can't get much worse than... Oh! Damn it, I gotta quit saying that.
Well, hello, sweetie. Congrats on winning the Royal Woods Recycling Challenge. Your prize is one of my world-famous anti-pamps slams. All 50 flavors with every topping you could ever dream of.
Close your mouth, Sarah. And bloody hell. Okay, I'm just gonna break the wall here for everybody. There was an ice cream parlor place that my bro and I went to, and it had this kind of ice cream thing before. It was called Dare to be Great, and it had 25 freaking scoops of ice cream. I'm not shitting you. It had 25 scoops, and you had 1 hour to complete it, so you could beat the actual record and actually get the picture up on the wall. I'm not shitting you. Look it up, and I even can show you an image of it.
God damn!
Is everything okay, sweetheart?
Uh-huh. It's fantastic.
Survey says...
Fuck me! Fuck!
Oh, fucking fix that!
Well then, have some more, you recycling champion, you!
Oh my gosh, these things look bad for Lana at this point.
I can't eat it!
And you know, I would show self-pity to her.
What's wrong, Lana?
Oh my god!
Good God! So back at home... Hey, that's my line. So back at home...
Aw,
here you go, my little angel.
Oh, this is unacceptable. Lola just saw that doctor. How can she have a cold? And Lana just saw the dentist. How did he miss what is clearly an abscess?
Okay, time out. Okay, fucking time out. How is Rita not aware of Lana? Does she not even work at the fucking dentist office? And for that matter, how would they not even suspect that Lola and Lana have not been each other? You know what? It would have been better if Rita would have actually caught on to what they were doing. Because honestly to speak, this should have made things a little bit better if they would have known their own frickin' daughters right now. But no! It sounds like they don't give a shit about their kids. And why the fuck would the parents even hide from Lou Ann for, shit, I'm getting off the subject. Let's get back to what we're doing. I'm starting to lose my temper.
You call Feinstein and I'll call Peterson. Time to give those so-called medical professionals the what for.
Time to do the right thing, girls.
Wait! Don't call anyone! This isn't their fault. This is on us.
What do you mean?
I didn't want to go to the dentist.
And I didn't want to go to the doctor, so we kind of switched places.
There is no kinda.
So if it wasn't already enough for the hint obvious as what I pointed out at the beginning about the Mark Twain story, I'm talking The Prince and the Pauper, if anyone remembers that correctly. Or at least you might be familiar with The Princess and the Pauper.
Yes, I am a girl like you.
Or maybe something VeggieTales actually did.
The world knows my name, so why do I feel unknown?
Actually, we've been doing it for a couple of days now to get out of all sorts of stuff.
Your mother and I are not happy that you've been lying.
No, we're not. You're not babies anymore, and sometimes you have to do things you don't necessarily like or want to.
I think I'll run out and line the sundial. You'll stay right here.
Like plucking nose hairs or visiting Aunt Ruth.
Excuse me?
But part of growing up is being responsible and doing those things.
Why do I get the feeling that every time that they talk about Aunt Ruth, I feel like that she's kinda the same as Aunt Sarah from Lady and the Tramp.
I don't want to think about that lady. Especially Verna Feltman. And you know, there's a little bit of a good lesson here, but somehow it's not executed very well. Because, like they said, there's some stuff that they gotta get used to doing that they don't want to do. I know there's some other people out there who don't like going to work and so much, but somehow it's such as life. So, Mom and Dad so-called reschedule Lola and Lana's appointment so things can get so much better for these two. And remember what I said before about the cruel irony? They wanted to get out of things that they didn't want to do, but suddenly they fuck up their own kind of thing that they wanted to do. And as I fucking said before, Rita should have checked out Lana's teeth in the first place to begin with. It doesn't have to be fucking Feinstein or Finkelstein, whatever that fuck his name is.
That's a mouthful.
And don't worry, we'll definitely go as ourselves. I can't go back to Auntie Pam's until they see a dental x-ray anyway.
And I'm not allowed back on the ribbon dancing circuit until I produce a note from the Center for Disease Control.
Survey says...
That was pretty sick, man.
Fuck, sister, cover it up. Don't spread it. We've already got that shit going on around here.
Let's just hope they had their mouths closed.
So night falls and we go to the dinner table, and Lola is actually the first to actually show up at the dinner table. And here's where things take a little turn and kind of get a little bit grosser at this point.
You got it, honey. Tonight's dinner is leftover hash.
Boy, oh boy, that squid and sauerkraut sure has gotten pungent.
Okay. There's creativity and there's laziness. Seriously, leftover hash?
You know, looking at this kind of dish kind of reminds me a bit of the one recipe that I saw in Treasure Planet that John Silver was actually making.
Or it reminds me of a messed up meal you saw in Total Drama World Tour when they went to China and they had this challenge where they had to eat all this disgusting stuff and the last thing they had to eat, and yeah, you get what I'm saying.
No, don't worry. I got this.
I'm just screwing with you. You did it again. Please tell me somebody was videotaping that.
Wow, the squid mixed with the liver and the lima beans. Separately, I was not a fan.
Yes, you made that clear.
Squid and lima beans.
What the fuck are they cooking? Honestly, you feed your kids this disgusting shit? How do you know if you're not even cooking this shit even too well? You could be actually food poisoning somebody. We've already got COVID already on our backs. But who gives a fuck? Lola actually enjoys the dish for some reason when she should have enjoyed it in the first place to begin with.
But together, it's actually delicious. Give me that rating card. A+. My compliments to the chef.
This is going right on the fridge.
A+. I give that a B-, that is. But anyway, we actually lead somewhere upstairs when Lana actually takes a bath, which somewhat could have been a good Lana Loud episode where she was filthy so much, which reminds me of a Powerpuff Girl episode where Buttercup actually not willing to take a bath. What if that was the case for Lana Loud's episode where everybody tries to force her to get a bath and then she kindly gets the bath in the end?
You know, that would actually make a really good episode.
Stink.
Ew.
Stank.
Gross.
Stung.
You need a bath.
I take it you enjoyed your bath?
Yeah, it's worth being clean to see how brown the water got.
Pussy.
And that's lame.
Ugh, brown water? Oh my god. Can you get any more disgusting?
But the best part was this! I found it in the drain.
What the? How long has that been there?
Pussy.
I spoke too soon.
And how long has that fucking thing been in that drain? Do these things not clean up after themselves? And who throws fucking Q-tips down the drain? Yeah, and with this being said, that's what made me throw up a whole bag of Reese's. Yeah, I shit you not. I really did throw up a bag of Reese's after hearing this.
Can I keep him?
Sure.
Lola! You gotta meet my new friend, Harry!
Survey says...
So this was Sister Act. Well, I've seen worse things from Lola and Lana before in Ruthless People and Sound of Silence, but this one is kind of decent to me. I say that because this should have been somewhere already in the first season of The Loud House, because honestly, we've seen this happen before in Cover Girls, Toad and Tiara, and a bit in Tricked, where they actually have switched phases. In Cover Girls, that one actually worked because when the siblings had to go do all their things that they wanted to do during spring cleaning, when Pop-Pop got on the phone, Lincoln had to pretend to be each and every one of them. And with this being said, when they get home, they pretend to be somebody else. Like Lola's pretending to be Lucy, Lana's pretending to be Lenny, Lori's pretending to be Lincoln. You get what I'm saying? This exactly worked because there were so many characters to actually play each one, everybody's different part and personality whatsoever. With this one, it kind of drags on for a bit too long from the first to second act. I would have loved it if this would have actually been in the second act to start things off in the first place to begin with, what they didn't really want to do. And necessarily they complained about it, and in the second act, they get themselves an idea to pull the old Prince of the Pauper routine about it. And another thing about this is that, oh my gosh, and pretty much it's a big one too. The story itself could have actually been executed a little bit more better. I would have loved it if Rita would have actually caught on to what these two were up to. When she was making the announcement about them seeing the dentist and the doctor for that matter, she would have had that face of like, somewhere, these are not my daughters, I know, and like, so she would have brought Lynn Sr. to actually kind of spy on Lola a bit, and Rita would have actually known about it until they actually confessed about what they were doing. And they would have learned their lesson so much the hard way when Lola was at the pageant getting sick, and Lana actually having a bad toothache case of that problem. And speaking of that, there was no reason to put more gross humor into that. See a lot of cavity, so it's no one doesn't want to fucking see these days. And Lola sneezing everywhere, good God. I've seen some sick things that, now I know why Courtney gets sick of seeing green slime every time. Which begs the difference, how the fuck is that even a fear anyway? And so what reason, I actually love how the way they confessed it at the end. And another gross thing I actually hate to point out is Lana pulling something out of the fucking drink. Seriously, how long has that even been in there? But somewhat, this could have been done so much better. Greg Griffin may have done so much good performance of playing two characters in this show, especially Lola pretending to be Lana and Lana pretending to be Lola. I've seen Neil Blanc do some great performance like this way when Bugs was being Daffy and Daffy was being Bugs. But Greg Griffin's not good enough to save this episode. So in my opinion, I would actually say it's decent. Not one of my top 10 best favorites, but I love episodes that have Lola and Lana into them for what's so matter. Okay, let's see what you got on this take of Sister Act.
Well, it's like what you said before. The story is not that special, and it's not as big and epic like Trick or Tripped or even some of Luna's episodes. But I do have to give credit that Greg Griffin is what makes me want to watch this episode. Just the way she did Lola as Lana and Lana as Lola. You can tell there's a slight differences between their voices, and I praise Greg Griffin for doing a spectacular job on this because she gets to do what not a lot of voice actors get to do, like what you said before when Mel Blanc did Bugs and Daffy in the cartoon Rabbit's Fire, directed by Chuck Jones. And it's kind of complicated to say, so I hope you don't mind if I brought this little clip to explain this little scenario.
What's up, Doc? Having any luck with those ducks? It's duck season, you know. Just a darn minute. Where do you get that duck season stuff?
You know how hard that is to do, to take your own character, have it imitate another one of your own characters? It's almost impossible, because if you try to like combine two voices that you're doing, you kind of just land in the middle. Like if I try to do Apu imitating Mo, it'll sound just like Mo imitating Apu. We tried it one day at The Simpsons. We were talking about how we were marveling at Mel Blanc's ability to do this, and we all tried to do one of our characters imitating another one and have them sound different, and we couldn't do it.
And that is just brilliant that not a lot of voice actors have two characters that have to portray each other. And I have to say that Greg Griffin, you did an excellent job. So I give you an A+ with that. And this is the girl who voices Azula from The Last Airbender. She is that good. So, I have to say, Sister Act is not a great episode, but I will give it a fun watch every now and then.
Good points. I actually like those ones too. Especially making a good point about that documentary about Mio Blanc being Bugs and Daffy so much. Okay, since we gotta get this show on the road since Lola and Lana month is almost over. I'm the Loud House Critic, and I'll see you guys next time for another Lola and Lana episode.
Bye, see you later, and thanks for inviting me again.
In the loud house, duck, dodge, push and shove. It's how we show our love. In the loud house, one boy and 10 girls wouldn't trade it for the world.